Hi, this is the weekly horoscope for Scorpio for the week of April 17th, 2023. Show your love and support to your girl Marie. Make sure to like, subscribe, and share. And thank you for everyone supporting the channel. I really appreciate it. Tomorrow night, I'll be on TikTok as well, Marie Moore Astrologer. So be sure to follow that so you can get your Saturday daily horoscope as well. Okay. So this week, lots of energy changes going on. So we really gonna feel this energy. So Monday, not the easiest time for you emotionally. You're going through changes. You have a big, giant T square happening with the first, seventh, and 10th house. Your challenges bring out positive responses for some of you and make you do positive things at this time, or even help you. It could be a situation with the ego where, like, you want to prove yourself, you want to prove other people wrong at this time. So you may go back to rehab, you may go back to school and stuff like that and focus and things like that and change your life around just to prove that one person wrong. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. Sometimes we need people like that. We need our antagonists. Just like in books, hey, we need our antagonists to antagonize us into change so we can change for the better. So this is not a bad thing. So see the blessing in that situation at this time. For some of you, you can be involved if you're in France. Bonjour, bonne nuit, comment là? Comment allez-vous? You can be involved in protesting, activism at this time with this energy, but nothing may really transpire at this time because Mercury is going in retrograde and it's going to end on the 15th. Pluto's going in retrograde. There could be a lot of truth being revealed because of the protesting, but nothing may really transpire from it. And those of you who have Charon in Gemini, which I can check for you on the astrology in the 8th house and the stellium with the 6th and 7th house. Now, it looks like a little bit of the 8th house maybe has a few planets in there trying to go in. So we benefit through other people at this time. So this could be a slow energy time here of banking on other people. For others of you, you're inventive, you're creative at this time. And then for others of you, you're just getting a little bit tiny dark, like Popo need to be called on you. So just be aware of that at this time. Try to stay on the right side of the law with this energy as well for some of you, because some of you, you're not making the best choices at this time with this energy here. I feel also with this energy that this could be people making promises to you and you banking on those promises to happen. And those promises could be very slow to come by, or they're keeping, or they keep their promises at this time. For others of you, you can be more about your doctor's appointments and your appointments in general. For others of you, this is dealing with health issues because you have a lot of planets you have a stellium in your 6th house, and then you have a stellium in your 7th house. So you could be having like a lot of doctor's appointments at this time with this energy. You could be dealing with your health and working on the self with this energy as well. Then Tuesday, you're bubbly and optimistic and you are in your routine. And this is a beautiful time when you're in your routine and being bubbly and optimistic. For some of you, you are super patient, and especially those of you who are teenagers and stuff, you're very productive. You could be working on getting your college application and stuff. And, for a lot of you here, you appreciate the process. You appreciate that, that everything is happening. Everything that you want is lining up at this time. So you're very patient at this time with this energy and allowing whatever needs to come in to just come in, because that is all happening for you. So you're allowing the process of growing up and you're enjoying the process of certain steps that you need to take to get where you need to be at this time. You're super ambitious at this time, so you could be studying hard for like your driver's license at this time for some of you. I feel for some of you here, like you could be about higher purpose with this energy. So you're very conscientious worker, and you're taking care of your responsibilities. For some of you here, you need to be careful what you say yes to, and you need to be careful what you jump into at this time, because you're super confident about certain things, but you could be biting off more than you can chew. So be careful how much work or how much you put on your plate this week, because it can be overwhelming for you with this energy. Try to be aware of how your actions affect other people or what you say to other people, because other people could be super, 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 super sensitive at this time because Pluto is not well aspected. So, and of course, in Scorpio style and water sign style, you are showing everybody, oh, look, you have this pain right here. Let me just like kind of scratch it and like play with the stitches on it. Yeah, let me just like, yeah, it's bleeding. Yeah, it's bleeding now. Wow, look at that, all that blood coming out. That's what you're doing right now. So you're pissing off a bunch of people at this time, and that is why, because unbeknownst to you, it behooves me to tell you this. I love that guy. That unbeknownst to you, you don't realize that you making people feel vulnerable, and you don't realize that. Okay. And you don't mean to. You could be like having like random conversations like I do, but then you just see Pluto goes like this. Oh, look at that. You see that? And you're like, oh my God, I totally see that, because Pluto in Aquarius is like, let me reveal your truth. Let me show you, because I got you figured out. And let me just like kind of like open that wound, that heart chakra, and let me play with it a little bit. Yeah, still bleeding, And the other person is like, oh my God, you have hurt me a lot. And you're like, really? I'm going to go home. And then next thing you know, you're blocked from this person, and this person never wants to talk to you again. And they find you ultimately the most offensive person, because you are making people, unbeknownst to you, very vulnerable at this time. Okay. And Pluto's not well aspected. And some people don't want to go there with you, and don't want to be vulnerable with you. Okay. And don't want to delve into their feelings. And you're kind of like, oh, look, it's still bleeding. You're still hurting, and kind of playing in their blood and being like, look, it's all right. Yeah, I know. You guys do that. So don't be expecting to making so much friends. Some people, nobody's going to appreciate it. Nobody's going to appreciate it. It really hurts. It really freaking hurts. Like, you have no idea. Anyways, so then on the 20th at 12:12 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, the new moon solar eclipse in Aries starts off in Aries, then really quickly moves into Taurus. Okay. You can check out the monthly horoscopes, because I think I talk about it in different time zones there. This is in your 7th house, so change is happening. This could be a busy time for you. Your life takes on a serious approach at this time, and you can be dealing, for some of you in your teens, a strict parents, okay? Or you can feel like your parents may not give you the emotional support that you need, or other people in your life, your friends, may not give you the emotional support that you need at this time, and you can be all quiet and all up in your feelings, and everybody's like, what's wrong? You're not talking, okay? So this could be a difficult time for some of you. You could be watching your parents go through a loveless marriage and barely tolerating each other. Probably not even living with each other. It could be a situation where they're like dealing with like separate houses, and then one person goes over the house to stay and stuff like that. And then like after dinner, they leave, and you're like, okay, this is like not cool, so it's like that kind of situation happening here. So you're dealing with like Freudian teenage disillusionment kind of stuff here at this time, and they're just tolerating each other, and you're feeling that energy, and you're kind of carrying that weight on you at this time, okay? And you're kind of like helping that one parent and being about that one parent, and you're really feeling the weight of that relationship with this energy. So you're going to have to learn how to keep to yourself together and control yourself and your emotions, and focus on what you can control. You can't control your parents and the decisions that they make, and the choices that they make, because the purpose of them to come together was to have you and to give you a beautiful life, for some of you. So that was their purpose, so their purpose was to nurture you and shelter you and treat you right. But at the same time, it's kind of like watching a movie. You could either take what you learned from this movie and you can apply it to your own life, but don't allow it to affect you so hard emotionally that it scares you away from relationships, or that it scares you away from one parent or the either. Don't pick sides with your parents, because they both love you equally. That's all you need to know. And, and just be about you. Do the teenage thing, be about you, control your emotions with that, know that you could be in your present, and know that your parents both love you. So, like I said, Pluto's in your 4th house at this time. So this is not an easy time for you emotionally with your parents. So, you could be watching that happen. So whatever needs to happen, know that they both love you. Alrighty. And know that, everything will be all right. You're just dealing with your new normal. And this is probably going to happen a lot in your life with relationships, and your relationships are going to go through change changes for better or for worse. But at the same time, it's like watching a movie. And the more you come to understand that and learn that, and like you're watching this movie and it's called your life, and you can be reactive and you can allow it to affect you emotionally and run with your feelings, or you can be like, okay, and you can take learn bits and pieces about what you like, what you didn't like, and apply that to your life. My son's kind of dealing with the same thing with me and my husband. And I taught him that, we're like, me and daddy, especially daddy, is like a rabbi. So you take whatever you need to learn from your rabbi and you apply it. And whatever you don't like from daddy, you apply it. And you remember what you didn't like, because then that means that's how you're going to treat people when you're older. Do you have to treat people like that? No. So you take bits and pieces of what you don't like from the parents and you apply it. Okay. So they're rabbis and they're teaching you how to be and how not to be. And, and you just take bits and pieces of that and you appreciate what you learn from them, because they're rabbis at the end of the day teaching you how to be, how not to be. And you could just take it like that, So think of it like that while you're going through it. Or if your Scorpio child is going through it, just tell them that, mommy and daddy are rabbis and this is what you're learning from us, for better or for worse. And then just take what you need to learn from us and apply it and make better decisions or better choices, or have a different conversation with your brain. So it's kind of like that. For some of you, you need to learn to restructure your brain or your way of thinking. I mean, you may have to put the focus on you or your schooling at this time and still love them and still accept them and do what you need to do at the same time. Listen and follow their rules, because everything in life is temporary. They have stuff to teach you. They want to teach you. They want to nurture you. And sometimes that is through, responsibilities and being strict on you. Okay. And kind of like sheltering you. So don't take it, hard or anything like that. Okay. Because, children, I believe, need love, but they also need discipline. So, that's the way I feel about it, So try to find your freedom in your temporary situation with them and try to enjoy these moments, because you're not going to get back these moments, okay? And don't judge them for the choices that they make, because they're doing what the best they know how to do, okay? And not everybody is perfect. You're not perfect either, alrighty? So just be aware of that at this time. You'll tend to pursue life less selfishly now, and you'll want to include others in your plans. Others may find you more attractive. You may become more popular and creative. I feel for others of you, there's an increasing of tolerance now and more compassion. Maybe after listening to that, y'all are going to be more compassionate. You're more interested in keeping the peace. It is possible that you may meet a new love at this time, despite the energies. Okay. Mercury's in retrograde. Alrighty. But you're going to have to learn to stay. Okay. Romance and sexual relationships are highly favored at this time, as well as creativity and the arts, music, painting, and drama. In your daily life, you may notice a tendency to be not very practical and getting into a dreamy state of mind. Financially, you tend to be too generous for your own good, so be careful how much you do for others. Don't put those friends on the pedestal. You may feel more intuitive at this time. Your financial matters, you tend to be a bit idealistic, and you can be drawn to new projects at this time that are worth your while in principle and promise great rewards. But whatever you're investing your money to, it might be too good to be true, or it could be just a temporary situation because it's impractical in your real world. It's best to get a second opinion when dealing with financial matters now. Your creativity is flowing, and you'll enjoy staying in your imagination and wanting to leave anything technical for another time. And you could also find that it's very difficult for you to deal with anything technical or anything that is left brain, not right brain. You'll be very hard to do technical work during the solar eclipse. Okay, so just be aware of that. Then on the 20th at 4:13 a.m., the sun enters Taurus in your 7th house. This is a great time for knowledge of the world, communication, and learning. Is highly favored. This is an excellent time for learning, teaching, writing, and publishing. Relationships with lawyers should do well, and any legal dealings that you have now should be successful, especially those relating to business ventures. Travel related to business is favored. Great time for business picking up. Be careful of accidents. Your timing may be off, or this could be the wrong place at the wrong time. So be careful with that this week. You're prone to be very overly optimistic. And I feel like for some of you here, you could have a little bit, I'm calling them the zoomies, where you get like a little bit too excited or a little bit too flirtatious and stuff like that. Or just a little bit, like what starts out as playful banter and you being sass mouth to somebody else now starts for you to be like, oh, you remember I said Pluto is not well aspected in your fourth house. So you being sass mouth and you being cute and you throwing the shade and the tea like nobody's business, and I'm loving it. But guess what you're doing? You opening that Pluto in that fourth house and that Pluto in somebody else's chart, and you going, oh look, does that hurt? Does that hurt still? Oh look, there's blood all over the floor again. Oh my God, I'm gonna have to get a mop. My bad. Did I open a wound? And the other person's like, oh my God, this person's a jerk, So just realize what you say. Be cognizant and self-aware of what comes out of your damn mouth at this time. Because it's like, oh, look, I'm going to play in this wound and I'm just going to put my fingers in it and I'm just going to dig, Does that hurt? Does that hurt? It's like that. And you don't mean it. That's the thing. You don't mean it, but it just happens. I do it a lot. You don't mean it, but it just happens. So just be aware of that at this time. Be a bit self-aware of what is coming out of your mouth, because you could just have word vomit of the mouth. But really what you don't realize is that Pluto's not well aspected of the mouth. And it's like, oh my God, look at all that blood in there. Let's play with it. Oh my God, this is so cool. Does that hurt? Does that hurt? Oh my God, that wound still hurts. I didn't know. I'm sorry. And then the worst part about it, you'll bring it up again and it'll be like, oh my gosh. And then you'll bring it up again and it'll be like, oh my gosh, oh, so horrible. Your behavior at this time has a potential to stir up controversy, okay? So be careful. I think that at this time, with Pluto not being well aspected with your mouth, that things are going to get blown way out of proportion. It's going to be like, oh my Lanta, like stuff going to get down, and it's going to be like, ooh. Okay, so you may want to really just namaste, don't say nothing. I know, you want to banter with somebody, come banter with me. I love the tea and the shade, okay, every day. But some people, they just can't handle playfulness, and this is just like you being playful and people taking it so far left that it ends up into like a fight. This is a good time for sports and physical activities. As long as you don't overwork your muscles and your bones, you feel stronger than usual. Be careful about feelings of wanting to dominate everyone else around you. You may scale back on certain projects because you're busy, or it could be a financial thing. It's also possible that you may have the resources but not enough time to make important deadlines, so you're scaling back to meet the deadlines. Look for emotional stability at this time. If you have strayed off your soul's path, then the events will happen that will challenge you, so you can put yourself back on track. Personal relationships may be strained now, as it feels like others are holding you back, or you're more about your freedom and you don't like to feel oppressed. If you're independent, you can feel like your freedom is being threatened at this time, and you may end a relationship because you feel oppressive. You feel like it's an oppressed relationship, okay? For some of you, you can be more to yourself at this time and not really talking to certain people at this time. On the 21st at 4:35 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, Mercury goes retrograde in your 7th house, which I talk about on the monthly horoscopes as well. So be sure to check that out on my YouTube channel as well. Change is happening this week. So whoever has to leave your life, let them leave your life. I feel you can have a falling out with others because of who does what, like the responsibilities and stuff like that, and who's in charge of what and what happens, and I feel like it could be like there's not enough Indians and there's too many chiefs, or it could be like Lilith moon is in your 10th house. So you feel like you do all the work and you don't feel like anybody's doing any responsibilities, or they're not doing their part at this time. And this could be like a friend, and you could be throwing them under the bus because you're pissed off about this situation. Okay. You may have difficulties in your relationships, especially with people who want to fix you, change you, and aren't willing to accept you for who you are. But I feel like also if they're not willing to change, then why the hell should you? Don't tell me I need to change if you ain't changing too. Okay, so it's kind of like that kind of situation I feel is going on. It's like you can't call the pot black if you the kettle and you black too. You can't do that. It's like no. All right. So that's what's going on there, is that somebody is trying to sit there and change you into whatever they think you are in Taurus energy, put you in a damn box and say that's who you are, but then trying to be critical of you and change you at the same time. And you're like, you need to change first. So they need to change whatever's in here first. And that's probably what's going on there, is that they need to go within, because if they're being, you see, the way I feel about it, if I'm being irritated by you, first off, I need to look within me to see what it is. And I think this is why it took me so long to get a divorce. But it's okay. But I need to go inward first and figure out, is it me? Am I the drama? Am I the problem? And it's like, yes, it is me. I am the problem. So then I work on myself and then I change me. But then as I'm changing and evolving, and then everybody else around me notice you the problem. And even your mama, that's what happened here in my relationship. My own mother-in-law was like, you the problem, son. You the problem. And I'm like, so it's not me. My mother-in-law, no, it's not you. So I'm like, okay, so if I leave, she's like, that's fine. Because they knew I wasn't the problem. You see that? So you got to change you first, and then watch and listen to everybody else around you in your circle. Be like, you the problem. You need to not do that. And watch them correct your spouse or whoever and be like, don't do that. Don't say that. Why are you doing that? That kind of situation. So don't allow people to change you unless they're going to change. You want to criticize me? Then check yourself first before you criticize me. Okay. So just be aware of that. All righty. It's good to listen and evolve the ego. But if you see them doing the same exact crap that you doing, it's like an alcoholic telling a crackhead to quit. It's like, bitch, you doing the same damn thing. Okay. So no. So it's like that, it's like, we're in the same boat. No, you need to change too. So I feel like that's going to cause a lot of strain and even end some certain relationships at this time. I feel like certain people can be imposing restrictions on you. This could be also at work as well. They could be watching your phone calls or screening your calls or your emails at this time, and what you can and cannot say. Be careful with your social media page, what you post on TikTok and stuff like that, because it could be a situation like that too, where they could be like, you can't do that, you can't say that at this time, and they could be restricting you during this time period on what you say. All right. So you could feel very oppressed with that energy as well. Watch out for a tendency to overwork yourself. Your health may suffer because you're straining yourself too much. A partner may change who they are on a deep level. Let them change. Okay. If you are convinced that it's real change, then let them change. Because you see, I never asked my husband to change. I just am, Kabbalah teaches you to be a walking example. They don't ask you, oh yes, you got to make them into a Kabbalist. Oh yes, you got to do that. A true teacher walks their walk and leads by example. And if people are inspired to change with you, then mazel, you are a true teacher. Okay. But you never force anybody to change. If that's who they are and that's you could say something, but do it once and then that's it, and leave it alone. Plant the seed, let somebody else come and sow it, because sometimes that's what needs to happen. Okay. So it could be a situation like that going on as well. All right. Divorce is possible at this time. This could also be quitting your job, and it could feel like a divorce, or you're leaving a situation and it's going to be like a nasty kick out, because Pluto's not well aspected, and Pluto wants you to remember that moment so you don't go back. That's why you're going to get kicked out real nasty and good. So you could turn into that Scorpio and be like, ooh, that hurt so much and I never want to go back kind of situation. That's why Pluto doing that to you. Okay. This could also be quitting a job. Like I said, you are going to have a nasty falling out, so you don't go back. Female relatives may not be especially supportive of you now, or they could be absent. You may have a tendency to neglect your people's body languages at this time. So be in your present and be self-aware at this time and slow yourself down, I think, is what the problem is. Don't be so quick to react. Don't get snarky. Don't get throwing shade at people because people can't handle it at this time. You may be out of touch with family or domestic issues and not be aware of it. You may not be aware of all the problems that are going on around you. An important supportive relationship may end. If you're unable to find proper balance between your personal and professional life, you're more practical and are making steady progress towards your goals. Your disposition is more serious than usual. Your support may be shaky now, and your personal life could be a little bit more the focus and a bit more in disarray. Certain things are certain foundations in your life that were important to you, fourth house energy, and you got like a big giant T-square going on with the fixed squares. So certain foundations that were once upon a time important to you are no longer applying. They are crumbling down at this time. And you may have to lay new foundations in certain situations in your life that may no longer apply. So just be aware of that, okay? And don't be scared of it, because see it as a shedding. You are shedding and you are getting a new skin, okay? You are coming closer to your true self. I think we're like layers of onions, because where we've had so much tar. We had to deal with COVID for Pete's sakes, it's like, damn. All right. And then some of us had to deal with protesting. It's so we're covered in layers of onions. So now this is a time to get to the true self and try to connect with the true self and try to be the real Scorpio that you are, your authentic self at this time. So just be more caught. The theme song is for this week, cock those damn brains before you shoot that damn mouth off, for real. Okay. Let's see what the cards have to say. And thank you for everyone who subscribed. I appreciate it. It made me feel so tickled when I saw that, and so blessed. So thank you. So the 5 of coins here, have faith that everything is going to work itself out. I feel for some of you here, you can be more to yourself at this time. With this energy, you can be going through it emotionally, like I was saying. Okay, so this is change. It's not the easiest time period for you. And some of you are going through your Saturn return in Pisces at this time as well, in your 5th house. The Death card brings about changes into your life at this time with this energy. And some of these changes you may have to do by yourself with this energy. Okay, some challenges that are coming up in your life are going to make you more self-reliant at this time and a much stronger person. Okay, so that's why you have to do it by yourself. All righty. And on top of that, it also means you didn't learn those lessons in a past life. So in this life, you have to repeat it. Yeah, okay. In this life, you have to repeat it and close that chapter out and deal with certain karmas, or you just didn't learn the lesson in last life. So in this life, you have to learn it. Okay. So everything has a reason why it comes into your life. The Moon card, I feel like this is clarity. This could also be delving into mysticism during this time period and feeling more connected to source energy during this time, because Pluto is not well aspected here, revealing secrets, revealing our hurt, giving us an opportunity to transcend ego at this time. It's all it's doing. And trust me, it hurts like damn hell. Okay. And it's not easy. All right. But that's what it's doing. So some of you can be going through some kind of spiritual awakening. Now, despite the energy that damn be, this could be a great time to mingle if you're single. It's a good time to get your flirt on. Okay. So for some of you here, Mercury's going retrograde in your 7th house. So you may want to date and get to know this person at this time. Slow down. Talk to them, get to know them, what's your name? I feel like for some of you, you can be receiving emails with this energy. Al says, hang in there, Scorpios. Hey, Al. For some of you, this is a great time for writers with this energy here as well. The Wheel of Fortune, expect the unexpected. I feel like somebody could be messaging you. Somebody that had a crush on you could be messaging you. But again, take your time, get to know the person, and date and talk to this person and, see where you're all at. It's just till May 15th, at the rate where everything is going at this time, we kind of seem like we're speeding along kind of fast. So, May 15th, we blink twice and look, it's already May 15th, right? So just, take your time and get to know the person. I do feel like for some of you here, you're feeling lonely at this time. You could be actively seeking out people at this time. You could be joining groups or organizations, or even actively, whoever you're crushing on, you could be reaching out to this person and wanting to talk to this person at this time. The 7 of Swords, you can be more quiet into yourself during this time period as well with this energy. For others of you, I feel like if you've been quiet and just keeping to yourself at this time, no longer are you going to do that, and you're going to like speak to this person. You could feel a little bit more courageous at this time and wanting to talk to this person with this energy. The Nine of Swords, but some of you may do it and some of you may not because of fear base and stuff. You're dealing with your emotional hangups that are kind of like keeping you like where you are at this time with this energy here and dealing with your insecurities. The Hierophant card, this is a busy week for you. You can be delving into self-pity with this energy. For some of you, you could be leaving a relationship, a situation here, and you're scared to do it right now, but know that you're going to see sparks and miracles when you actually do it. So if you get a divorce, I'm not saying get a divorce. Well, technically I am, aren't I? But it's, it is like you already been in that thought mode and stuff like that, or you just like reevaluating your relationships with other people in your life because they're annoying you and they're getting on your damn nerve. Know that when you leave this situation or relationship, know that you'll see sparks and miracles during this time period. The Two of Cups, I see a soulmate relationship, but I feel like you or this person are scared to come forward. I feel like eventually it will. This could be a crush or a past love that's coming back into the picture for some of you with this energy. Of course, Mercury's in retrograde, but I can't tell the heart what to do, and nor am I going to. Okay. So at this time, just talk and get to know this person and take your time. The King of Cups, yeah, your emphasis on reconnecting. Okay. For some of you, this is a great time for freelance writers. You could be getting a job as a freelance writer with this energy. So that could be really good. For some of you, you could be blogging at this time, but I definitely see a reconnection with a past love, somebody that you already know with this energy here as well. And they could be writing you, or you could be a writer. The Two of Wands, the energy itself begins to move forward for you. So as long as the energy is moving, I don't feel like a lot of you are going to complain, but you are going through a lot of changes this week. I feel like you can be very cerebral when it comes to this person and thinking about this person. But I do feel like some of you may get drunk and moon energy may get drunk, and you may like text this person, or you may send this person a friend request or an email to see if they'll talk to you. Okay. So I do see that happening with the Hermit and the Moon card. I also feel like at this time, this is a temporary separation. All right. For some of you, this is a purging happening here as well. For some of you, this could be traveling or online dating with this energy. The Ace of Coins, creating your own reality at this time. I feel like for some of you, as I connect with this energy, I feel like for some of you, you may have like sparks and miracles happening, or you may have some like real magical moments, like fate may bring you two together, or just some kind of serendipitous kind of situation happening to you this week. Okay. So that's what I'm connecting with at this time. The Sun card, mastering your money situation. During this time period, this could be getting control over your money situation, or getting rid of debt at this time with this energy. Okay, so I see that happening for you as well. All righty. The Temperance card, I feel like your partner could be away during this time period, and you may not know what to do with yourself. So this person could be like working and traveling, and you may not like the quiet, and you may not know what to do with yourself at this time with this energy. So you're waiting for your partner to come back. I do see a happy relationship around you, or you can soon be in a happy relationship. I see success in career and love. I do see, if you start talking to this person, a friendship can blossom that can turn into a love relationship, but you're thinking about it at this time. You have something heavy on your mind with this energy. So I feel like it might be 3 weeks or 3 months before you do it. The Knight of Wands, new people coming in, new beginnings are happening for you at this time. I see fortune bubbling over with this energy. The Devil card, endings, new beginnings coming up. I feel like for some of you, all is not what it seems at this time. So be careful with the conversations in your head with this energy. I see illusions at this time. For some of you, this could be truth being revealed. Be careful of pathological liars. The Four of Cups, you're more about your sanity. You're not even trying to intrigue certain dramas during this time period, and you're kind of like staying out of the way. Maybe you're going to cock those brains before you shoot that mouth off this week and not like really say much to other people, because you don't want to like offend or like
get sued this week, God forbid, but it can happen over like things that you said. So I would just be careful. You have the zoomies this week and you just don't know when to stop, and that's that Pluto energy going, oh, look at, you're bleeding. Let me touch it. Okay. The 3 of coins, I feel like for some of you here, this is emotional growth or financial growth happening. You have a lot of coin cards here. So certain things in your life can be a process at this time. So it can be a while before you ask somebody out with this energy, because some of you could be like wanting this person to chase you. They're not going to chase you. I don't see that happening. I feel like for some of you here, you can feel oppressed at this time with this energy. For some of you, you're not making the best choices for yourself at this time. So I see that happening. I feel for some of you, this is wanting a career change. You could be bored with your job at this time as well, because you have kind of like mastered it, or it's like too easy for you with this energy. Elle said, put the stingers away. That's true. Put your damn stingers away. Tuck them really good in, or put like rubber bands around your little chomping things. Okay. I feel like for some of you here, you could be going back to school because you want more financial security at this time. I feel this is a great time for leadership and growth. Be careful of dominating men in your life at this time. They could be very competitive with you. They could also feel threatened by you at this time with this energy here. Okay, is what I'm seeing. The 5 of Cups, I feel like certain things are going to trigger you at this time. So you really need to cock those damn braids before you shoot that mouth off, because the 5 of Cups with all these coin cards tells me you're not going to think very logically about the situation. For others of you, you're going into lack consciousness. So as above, so below. So be careful with the conversations in regards to money at this time. I feel like father could be denying you of certain things, taking away your phone, or restricting you about what you can and cannot do at this time with this energy. The Hangman card, the answer is yes, but I feel like there's going to be restrictions placed on you, or certain things may no longer apply in your life. So you could be asking for certain things, and it's going to be like a chess game. If I ask for certain things, then this person is going to ask certain things of you as well. Okay. And I feel like they're just in a dominating, controlling mood with this energy, and they could be going through it and kind of like taking it out on you with this energy. I do see you working on yourself and leaving a toxic situation behind you at this time. The 2 of coins, I do feel like things are going to be up in the air in regards to this, because you don't even want to like ask at this time or make certain requests at this time, because you're afraid, because that there's going to be strings attached to the situation that you're about ready to ask. So this could be more up in the air, but also delve into certainty about what kind of like conversation you want to have with this person, because this could end up being a positive thing, and you could end up getting your way, but they are going to ask of you to do certain things. Okay.
Show your love and support to your girl Marie by liking, subscribing, and sharing. And thank you for everyone who has kisses. See you in Sagittarius, Elle. Kisses. Mwah.